Hello Grandmasters, Mike from the WCA. Got a little holiday update for you. This is for our 12 and 2 o'clock group. I'd like you guys to go to chesskid.com. You should see something like what you have here on the screen. My login looks like this as soon as I come in, so your username should be up here. For today's exercise, come to play, scroll down and click on versus the computer. And these are those positions that chesskid.com has set up for you to practice against. These are really, really good. I had the pleasure of meeting all these guys in Florida. I was out there coaching at Nationals. Got to meet Funmaster Mike, Danny Wrench, several of the players at chesskid.com. Really, really great people. Anyway, let's slide down a little bit. And I want you to come to here where you'll see king and pawn with 2 pawns up. Okay, after you click it on, you should see something like this, right? This is the setup where if you look, you'll see white has 6 pawns, black only has 4. And this is a position that you should win every time. And I have it set at hard up here, which plays at about the 1600 level. Don't change that. You should be able to beat this machine 2 pawns up with the setting at 1600. Now, a couple of things to remember here. This is clearly an end game, so you should have a plan. And the plan basically involves getting your king in the game and creating what's known as a passed pawn. And that's simply when a pawn cannot be stopped by other pawns. In this position, white doesn't have any passed pawns because all 3 of these here can be stopped by these 2, and all 3 of these here can be stopped by these 2. So in order to make a passed pawn, you're going to have to either trade a couple of pawns and then have an extra one that can run, or win a pawn, probably with your king. So how I like to start this position, I know I want to get my king in the game, but I'm going to play this move f4 first. And that's an old trick from endings you don't really need to know yet, but when you have like a 3-on-2, you get some advantage by leading with the pawn that doesn't have a pawn to stop it directly on this side. You see how our pawn on f4 doesn't have anybody on this side except for the king? So it kind of gives you like a free run, and it's a way to get you a passed pawn, as you'll see. Okay, so what's our next step? Let's just get the king involved. And a little bit of advice when you start doing this on your own, and I would advise you guys to do this, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 times until you really master it. Don't rush. You have these 2 extra pawns. All you need to do is get your king into the middle and then eventually make a passed pawn. And the fact that you can use this extra material, you'll see that it will win itself. Okay, so the king moves to d5, but you'll see he can't really get in. If you just leave these 3 pawns alone, there's no way that black can get in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a pawn duo here, and I'm kind of going to wait to see how black commits himself. So he played the move b6, doesn't really affect us. So again, okay, so I'm wondering if you guys heard that buzzer. I just had food delivered. Very hungry. Anyway, so what did black do here? They pushed a pawn. Doesn't really change things. So again, I don't want to rush. So I'm going to push a pawn here just to keep an eye on this square. And I want black to eventually start moving their pawns to the point where they can't make any more good pawn moves. Then we're going to force them to move their king. And then we're going to take more squares with our king. So another patient move, just going to sit and wait. And there they go. And now this is a cool little trick. Play a move like a4, and that stops this guy from moving. And aha, we got what we want. So the black king moved up the board. So there's a lot of things we can do here to win. So I'm just going to centralize my king. And he moves his king over, and now I think it's probably a good time to make a passed pawn. So once he takes, we can take with our pawn, and now this pawn doesn't have anything to stop it except this king. So what do you do here? They just backed up their king. Can they do anything dangerous with their pawns? No. Push your king forward. And guys, if you go over this, there are so many different ways that you can win. So the more you practice, the better. Okay, I'm just going to keep pushing away. Keep our pawn protected. And that's pretty much telling you the computer's giving up, because there's not much the computer can do. If he had gone back with his king, we could have just run in here, grabbed another pawn. But basically, when they start giving pawns away, they're giving up. So you need to take that, right? You don't want to let them make a queen, because you'll lose that position, maybe. Just take it as long as you don't allow stalemate. So, I don't know. Why not take his last pawn? Well, we don't really have to, right? We could, but I don't know. Looks like we could just make a queen rather, and win the game. Just always remember, in a position like this, because this pawn can't move, there's always the possibility of stalemate. But here I see that after I queen, black does have some squares. And now how to win from here? Wow, so many different ways, right, guys? Making a second queen is usually okay. I could just do a queen and king checkmate, but here, because black has so many moves, why not make another queen? And I don't know, boy, I'm so many different ways to win. We could probably just keep checking until we find a mating pattern, right? So just a check here, and hopefully you all see mate in one. Got a couple of ways to do it, so we'll play this one here. Okay, guys, do this, I don't know, 4 or 5 times until you really master it, because the computer will probably play different moves against you each time, or you could play different moves, and that'll kind of create different positions. The more you practice this stuff, boy, I'll tell you, you'll get really good. If you don't have a chesskid.com account, email us at learn@wcachess.com, and we'll make sure you get one so you can work on this stuff, okay? All right, we'll see you in January.